time to see what lies beyond the demo of Reignbreaker. I've been having fun so far with the full version, so hopefully that continues. The first character we see is the Master Trapper Vantel, given this graffiti. I'll be letting the dialogue play for the people that want to hear it.
Another guardian falls to your javelin, I hear.
Did you really doubt me, Vantel?
Indeed not, my little rebel. Tell me, who will fill the throne once you've slain our dear queen?
No one will. No more overseers, no rulers, no councils, just the people.
But then what will happen to the court? The silk and the festivities?
On this encounter, they introduce electrified enemies, which hurt you if you punch them, forcing you to use javelin attacks. It's only 10 damage, but better to avoid it, obviously. I wasn't looking at the tip initially, so I got a first-hand lesson. The Trapper's artifacts are based on, you guessed it, traps, along with some other factors like scratch damage, which is recoverable health, and creating bear traps in a few ways. Here I decided to take bear traps spawning on enemy kills, given that's a more universal effect. Moving right along, I find a single enemy and proceed to style on them with a punch rush. Definitely brings a few things to mind. The timed lockouts felt harder to do earlier on in this run at times. The electrified enemies, tons of turrets, and how spread out they were didn't help in this case.
Ouch!
Second attempt was definitely easier, allowing me to essentially do a quick circuit to knock everything out.
Lockdown completed.
On this Trapper vault, I go for Predator, a helpful defensive passive as long as you aren't getting constantly hit. Following another beatdown, we see the first Spear Sister vault of the run.
By the keys, Clef. I'm starting to worry you might actually do this.
Or die trying, at least. Come, sister. Tell me what you know. Why is this place so important?
It isn't important, Clef. It's dangerous. It will only get harder from here on out. And for what end?
To find her and take her offline. I believe she is here. You all but confirmed it.
Believe what you will, sister. Your death surely creeps closer.
There are a couple of shielded enemies in this encounter which can't be hit by javelin throws. They're less of an issue than electric enemies, aside from having to go in on them in situations where you would prefer to keep your distance.
Lockdown completed.
Spear Sister artifacts are generally related to the javelin mechanics like perks for your throws and cooling your heat gauge. Common Collected is my choice, and it comes in handy when I have a moment to breathe instead of constantly dodging. Now for the third vault type belonging to the Bloodletter.
Press on as you like. You shall get no further. The Queen is the most mighty of patrons. A most deserving ruler.
Most deserving of a guillotine, perhaps. But then, maybe you'd enjoy the sight of all that blood.
Pestilence, be gone.
It's a don't get hit lockout featuring acid bots. I've seen this configuration before and frankly, it's quite easy to deal with. Bloodletter artifacts are health-based along with some bleed effects. While I do see an epic tea leaves, getting a resurrect is just too good to pass up, so bounce back it is.
Hey, get over here!
French Rat appears on a side path.
The Chimera is a nasty one, isn't she?
Well, you haven't seen half of it yet. It will repair itself eventually.
Whoa, are you going back to fight her again?
You bet I am, kid. And I'm going to win.
Yeah, I didn't like receiving that news. It's different than you might think, though. And regarding this shop, I don't have a lot of keys, and the options are lacking anyway. I buy the critical hit chance up and move on. Typically, my runs are based on getting every artifact, preventing me from getting new javelins at these lockers. The artifacts at this power shop are fortunately not that important, as even if I did skip the last shop, they would be too expensive still. Tight space like this is good for the bear traps, if it wasn't for every enemy spawning in being a turret.
Trap set.
I wasn't too interested in the top two choices, but having a pull-in on Slam synergizes well with my blast and railgun javelins. Another time trial lockout, and again it poses a problem for me. Truthfully, looking back, I was trying to play too safe because of the Overseer, and probably could have done it if I played my cards better.
This could have been avoided.
There was another vault right beside it, and I tried doing that one to see if it would give me anything particularly relevant for clearing the time trial. Evidently have to be wary of obstacles if I do blast pull-in slams, otherwise I like having it.
A few rust buckets less to worry about.
Honestly, nothing overly good, at least Bite Back is a rare. There's a power pouch on a side path, but that doesn't solve anything either. I pick Bounce Back since I'm expecting to pop the Resurrect on a boss. Tried the timed lockout again. At first it goes well, but it still took too long to defeat the Overseer. I still want to get this vault, leading me to a third try. Admittedly, I take more damage than necessary here, but at least I get the clear. It ended up being worth it with a legendary cornered animal to sync with my scratch damage cooldown, and a power pouch that I enhanced my heat cooling with. Statue on the last side path of this area gives me a power pouch, and I upgrade cornered animal, with a power shop beside it giving me a chance for a bite back one. A third power shop in the rest area is fairly pointless given that I'm broke now. First boss time is the same as my last run, but new to anybody that played the demo. The Overseer is a variant that does horizontal sword swings instead of the tracking vertical one. Spitface is self-explanatory. It spits out ball enemies that self-destruct and has melee attacks if you close in on it. Difficulty-wise, this is a minor fight once you power up enough.
It's no use. The javelin is overheated. Javelin's overheated.
I'm getting spammed with power-ups for some reason. I can buy something, and it's Fishhook for more Poland abuse. This lockout feels like one of my better ones regarding effective tool usage. It also felt unusually long. Been considering trying the bleed punches, but in this instance I choose preservation for a basic health increase. A Vandal Vault appears. Finally.
You knocked that bucket about, but we still got a job to do here. So very politely, get her off with you.
Yeah, I don't exactly take orders from a flock of peacocks such as yourselves.
This flock of peacocks has paid buckets by the Queen to give orders, you know?
Perhaps, but could you not sell your services to the other side? Rebels pay coin too.
Yeah, but the Queen pays a lot more. Our tailor don't come cheap.
This is one of the instances where shielded enemies got me somewhat. The auto-aim on javelin throws can definitely steer towards them when you don't want it to. Wasn't expecting that Overseer bonk to go quite that far either. First there's a power pouch I take a health up from. Then I get my standard punching paint from the first Vandal Vault. I pretty much always grab this one for the raw damage increase. On to the next area, and the fights are getting longer and more intense. Standing still for heat reduction is necessary with the amount of javelin moves I'm throwing around. The gearbox doesn't do much with the amount of space enemies have to move, so it's practically a noise box. Except for here with my pull-in letting it accomplish something.
You're blocking the javelin. You're blocking the javelin.
After some thinking, I go for swift maneuver to give me at least some heat reduction when I'm on the move. Notably, there aren't that many electric enemies in this run, but they do appear again in this specific lockout.
Can't use the javelin when it's overheated.
Double shield overseers are a bit of a bother as they are one of the main enemies I do want to throw javelins at. I have enough heat reduction now, so Acid Coat makes more sense this late in the run. Acid bot no-hits are still easy, the only real difference is that some of them are shielded. I could have gone for layers of coat, however an epic rampage is worth more to me. Last lockout before the final boss of the run, and of course it's time. My damage was high enough that I could get away with running around, especially since this is a smaller area than the earlier ones had. For the Power Pouch, it was a shakeup between Predator for easier scratch damage regen, and Acid Coat for more damage. I chose Predator. On the other hand, the trap or artifact decision was clear. Bear traps from dashes is always a good pick. I wasn't aware this was a thing. This statue had a javelin in it.
For later.
Last shop of the run, and given that I have plenty of keys now, I just buy everything and head towards the boss. As the trench rat mentioned earlier, it's the Chimera again. Something to take note of would be the two blips below the health bar. For the moment, the boss is largely the same as it was in the demo, except for maybe some tweaks in its behavior, as I don't see it do the large wave attack quite as much.
Overheating. Bollocks. It's no use. The javelin is overheating. You little.
After depleting the initial health bar, you get the chance to execute it, giving you some resolve along with making it enter phase 2. Obviously I had no idea what it was going to do for this phase, so I had to experiment. It goes all in on the electric moves and still spawns turrets, making adjustment to the pattern switch harder. My damage output was largely fine, it was more about safely getting in to do it. Got brought down pretty low, but managed to beat it. If needed, I still had a resurrect ready, so my chances were fairly decent.
Enjoy your victory, for it will be your last. You will not like what you find when you reach the chambers beyond.
Empty threats. You sealed your fate when you took my childhood from me. You made me what I am.
I acted in the best interests of the realm. I sacrificed one child to keep thousands more safe.
Quit your bullshit, you pompous bitch. You don't care for anyone's life but your own.
What is a mortal life? Even that of a child to a god queen like me, Glyphania. Nothing.
I get a new type of javelin of the cyclone variety, and that's it for this run. Another upgrade slot unlocked, and some dialogue.
I don't know about you, Clef, but I'm pretty sick of hearing the Queen's yapping.
Yeah, I reckon just about everyone else in the world feels the same. Wouldn't it be a shame if someone blocked her broadcast?
Aye, that'd be a right shame. For her, that is. Next time, we shut her down.
This is how the cyclone javelin works if you're curious. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'll consider making more in this game if I get a good response, but I'm planning on finishing it regardless. I'd appreciate any support you can give, and bye for now.